Welcome to Women in Leadership Talk, where you'll hear from successful women who are empowering other women with their stories of adversity, resiliency, and success. And here is your host, Vicki Bradley, founder and CEO of Women in Leadership Empowered.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Women in Leadership Talk podcast. Thank you so much for being here today. We love having our audience joining us from over 57 countries, and we're thrilled to have Melissa Shannon Kelly joining us today. Hey, Melissa, welcome to the show.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me today. I'm so excited to be here.
Well, we're thrilled to have you. And I'm going to give our audience a little bit of background on you just before we jump into conversation. So audience, Melissa, she's a thriving beauty entrepreneur and the visionary founder of a nationally recognized brand called Bello Haven Hair Extensions. In addition to owning 2 successful salons in Colorado, she offers certification classes in the exclusive Bellow Haven methods with over 500 salons across the U.S., proudly using her extension lines. Her dedication to quality and innovation continues to transform the hair industry while empowering professionals nationwide. So, Melissa, thank you. And I'm so curious, like, how you got into hair extensions, why, who's the customer, like what led you down this path of entrepreneurship?
Yeah. It really did start with myself and loving hair extensions. And my journey basically began when I was in 7th grade. Yes, I know, super young. Didn't know this was going to be my career, but I think it shows how much of when you have a passion and a purpose, it kind of all goes hand in hand. But it started in 7th grade. I had extremely fine hair. And, I was not blessed with super thick hair. So I got my first set of extensions in 7th grade. And that is what changed my life. It really started with the confidence. I got made fun of in 7th grade because of it. And so once I got those extensions, I felt like I could conquer the world. And that feeling really never left me. And I wanted to continue that. And so I kept doing them, of course, because it felt great. I felt great. And so I wore extensions, till now. Obviously, I've never taken a set out, whether I did clip-ins, I did fusions. I tried them all and I continued. So I just knew I wanted to be in the beauty world. I wanted to do extensions. So I went to beauty school right after high school and started my career by doing hair, and then got into doing extensions mainly in beauty school and continued on. So really was able to take that confidence that it gave me, and now I get to give it to other people and give it to customers and clients, and also be able to share my passion with hair and give those to stylists too.
I love it. Wow. So grade 7 and recognizing how that confidence has impacted you as a person, professionally, personally. So that's a great segue into confidence and how the way we feel, the way we look plays such an important role. So maybe talk about that a little bit, like really get into the feeling of what that created.
Yeah. I just felt like it's kind of like a crown on your head, or when you
Well
buy a
said.
brand new outfit. You feel really good with that nude outfit. It's brand new, you look good, you've put it together, and I would say it's that same feeling. But you get to wake up with it. It's attached to your hair, and so it's something that it just gives you and inspires you to feel good. And then when you're feeling good, you take that aside and then you do good. And I think that is hand in hand, has been always a saying of when you feel good, you do good. And I would say hair gave me that. And
Oh, I
so
love it.
I had that confidence, and maybe that was the help by my family too, but I was like, you really can do anything you put your mind to.
Mm.
And I've never let fear stop me from that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Apologies if we have a little background noise, everybody. I'm sorry about that. Just bear with me for a second. So I want to talk about who's using extensions, um, who and why. I mean, I know confidence is one aspect of it, but like I know several people who do extensions. But
Hmm.
what do you think that other than confidence, what is the other driving force for um, changing your look, right? Or
Yeah.
enhancing that look?
Yeah. I would say nowadays a lot of people are obviously doing extensions. Whether you have thick hair or thin hair, I see it in my salons.
Mm,
I have a lot of clients that have really gorgeous thick hair, but maybe it's something that they want to add length, to get that
mhm,
immediate length versus waiting 6 months to grow out your hair. You're gonna see all different types of people nowadays getting extensions, whether maybe their hair got damaged, maybe too much heated,
that's right.
heated tools, or too much color that damaged the hair, or not proper aftercare. So you may see that, or you may see people like myself, who are just genetically really thin. And a lot of those clients are your lifers, I would say. They're like me, where I don't think I would ever take a set out.
Yes, no, the reason I say that, my sister-in-law she has extensions, and like they're so gorgeous, right? And it's so sexy, right? And so that's why I was asking, right? Because there's
Yeah.
also the sex appeal, which is confidence as well,
Yep.
but like it just really does change your look.
Yeah, I think it definitely did. Like you said, it's sexy. You're enhancing your look. Whether you already have thick hair, it's still gonna enhance it. Or say your hair doesn't hold curl, the extensions are gonna
Mm,
hold that curl to make, it look more beautiful or shiny, or to have it stayed curled for a while. So
yeah,
yes, I definitely think it is sexy.
I love that. I love that. So I wish I had done my hair fully today. Because I have long, full hair.
Oh,
It looks like I have extensions, but I hid it all today. It's all pulled up.
that's okay. You still look beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. So, part of the reason I wanted to have you on the show is I think there's a couple of things. One, I think it's so fantastic that at such an early age, you found your niche, you
Mhm.
found your passion. And, I'd like to talk a little bit about how you translate that into a business,
Mhm.
because you have two salons, but that's not all you do. So you're
Good.
finding ways to expand your business without necessarily having to set up bricks and mortar for yourself. So maybe talk a little bit about your strategy and when you started and where you are today, if you don't mind.
Yeah. Um, so I really took it as it came to me, when opportunities presented itself. So, in the beginning, it really started with myself, and I knew there was a passion there, and right. And when there's a passion there, you want to do it all the time. And so why not do it all the time? I think I hear a lot of people say, well, that's not going to make money. And they're looking at it in that way, versus anything can make money as long as there's a heart for it, or there's a passion
Mhm.
behind it. There's no right or wrong way to a business. So when opportunities presented itself, I took them. As I grew a bigger clientele doing just extensions, I opened a bigger salon.
Mhm.
And so I hired on employees. I needed the help. And so I took it. So when those opportunities came to me, I went with it and grew with it. So as I needed it, and that turned into, opening, more the two salons. So opening up my first salon because the clientele was getting bigger. So I needed more stylists to be by my side. I needed more employees, so I brought them on. And as the salons grew and the extensions grew, people were getting to know it. So hairstylists were like, well, I see you growing. How can you help me grow? And I think that's something huge in business, is not just helping yourself, but helping other people. And I really do believe when you start putting good into the world and you start showing or educating people on your knowledge, that comes back in full circle and will help you overall grow. If you're growing everyone around you, it's a team environment and you're just going to keep growing too.
Love
So yeah, I really would say like putting good out there and helping other people will also help you grow.
Yeah. Yeah. I totally agree with you. So often people get into this scarcity mindset. And what I hear from you, it's like recognizing there is enough you can
Yeah.
share. It's an abundance. If
Yeah.
that's what the space that you come from, and that brings
Yeah.
good back to you, but it also brings good to others. So you tapped into something there that I want to take just a couple of minutes or seconds to talk about, is that the naysayers, right? Because I hear this a lot, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're in a corporate environment, and people saying, you're not ready, you're not enough, that's not going to work, you can't make money in that. So, Melissa, how did you quieten that noise and stay true to your vision, to your passion?
I think what really stayed true is what I wanted for myself in life and where I wanted to be. And what I wanted to just provide for myself. And also I have a daughter too, so that behind is a huge drive. But of course there's gonna be noise, and usually the noise are people that aren't focusing on themselves and are more focused on what everyone else is doing around them versus just focusing on themselves. So you really do have to quiet the noise, and follow that passion. I think I had so much passion behind everything I was doing that there was nothing stopping me, and I know exactly where I wanted to be and what I wanted to be doing. So, and I think along the way, it's not going to be easy. You're going to have your lessons and there's going to be bumps in the roads, but you take those as opportunity to grow. Because you got to start somewhere. All the bigger people out there, or business or bigger brands, had bumps in the road, and that's how they grow. So when lessons present themselves, I take them because that's just a growing opportunity.
Lovely. Oh my gosh, I love your attitude. I think that's so important. And I really wanted us to spend a few minutes talking about that, because so often we give up too early, or we think it's too hard. And instead of looking at it as hard, it is, how do you flip that script and see it as, ooh, what am I meant to learn here? How is this helping me
Yeah.
stretch or grow? And your conviction, your passion for what you're doing. Like, I mean, you've gone, from 1 to 2 stores, but you're also servicing 500 salons across the US. And that doesn't come easy. That has to come from having a vision and
Yeah.
that passion for it. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's fun and I love learning new things. Did I go into this knowing what to do? Not at all. I don't have a business background. I went into it with things that came or lessons that came. I really just grew from them, and learned about them and changed it.
Yeah, I love that. And exactly what you said, that so many people who have been successful, they've had ups and downs, right? Like if we look at like Sarah Blakely as an
Yeah.
example, right? She
Yes.
created oh my gosh, I just had a brain gap. What's it called? Spanx. Sorry.
Yes.
I totally
Yeah.
had a brain gap.
No, you're okay.
So she created Spanx, right? And she didn't know if that was going to, what she knew is that there was a need, because women wanted to look better in their clothing.
Yeah.
And so she created a product that fulfilled a need. And then she just kept growing that product. And I mean, like she's incredible, the empire that she has built, right? But she
Absolutely.
had the passion, the conviction. Look at Brene Brown, right?
Yeah.
Somebody who, wrote that first book going, oh my God, is anybody going to listen to me? And now how many books she has and the influence that she has had on
Yeah.
society and having courage and showing vulnerability. Like, so it has to start with that passion, that seed,
Yeah.
and then see where it can take you.
Absolutely. And that is, I think what you said, a need too. When you have something that you're passionate about and you're delivering a need for it and you can help someone or inspire someone, I think that goes along with your lessons too within your brand or your business is you're you're probably going to help someone more if you express those needs or how it's gotten you that passion in your journey. So when you're more vulnerable and put yourself out there in your needs and your wants and express that, that can also be so helpful within your brand and inspire someone.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And it's funny, you're talking about brand because we're in the new year,
Yes.
2025, and that's something I've been talking a lot about not just your professional brand, but your personal brand. What does that mean, right? What are those values? How do you link those two together? And if you get out of alignment, what does that mean? When you're in alignment, what does that mean? And so that brand becomes so important. And for
Mhm.
you, confidence sounds like a really important value, whether it's your own or helping others establish their confidence, but also passion, like having a
Yeah.
passion and a purpose for what you're doing.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's very huge behind your brand and what you're standing for. You got to have something that you're standing for.
Mhm.
And yeah, mine, it brought confidence in me. So how can I give confidence to everyone else?
Yes, exactly, exactly. And modeling that, right?
Yeah.
I was talking about that earlier, like my own story. Like, I worked in corporate for many years and I wasn't on social media a lot. And then
Yeah.
all of a sudden I start my own business and it's like, I want to show up as the person I am, whether I'm doing this or doing something else, but it's that person who empowers others, that person who advocates for others. And so, how do we do more of that and being very
Yeah.
passionate about that? So, that alignment becomes super important in growing your brand. So, now you've got 500 salons who are telling your story, which is incredible.
Yes, absolutely. And it's been amazing.
Oh, I love it. So let's talk a little bit about your name. So I know
Yeah.
there's a lot of meaning behind Bellow Haven. So maybe
Yes.
maybe talk a little bit about how you chose that and why.
Yeah. Another thing that, what I stand for, when I was naming my company, I wanted it to be meaningful to me. So Bello Haven does have a meaning to it, and Bello is obviously beautiful. And it also stands for my daughter, who is Bella. I just changed the wording a little bit. There's a lot of other brands also with Bella in it. So Bello was for my little girl, and then Haven, it's a representation, sorry,
That's okay.
of a safe space and sanctuary. So
Mm.
it basically is for my dad, who it's just in remembrance of him. He passed away about 10 years ago of cancer. And I wanted that to be an representation of him and be doing good in the community as well, and giving back. So we make wigs, and donate wigs for anyone fighting cancer, for my dad, and donate those just to bring confidence with anyone fighting. So yes, both of those two are for my daughter and my dad, and they both inspire me every day to keep going and keep chasing my dreams.
That's beautiful. And what an incredible way to honor your dad's legacy and him and
Mhm.
also helping your daughter build her legacy, which is
Yes.
awesome. So I know you talked a bit about the Bellow Havens method for extensions
Hmm.
and this differentiates you from other salons that are doing extensions. Do you want to talk a little bit about that and why it's different and why it's important to you to educate on how to do these?
Yes. Yeah, so we do sell our hair extensions as well as the education that goes behind the hair extensions. I did design how the extensions were installed. I think that's something that's very important to me. Someone with really fine hair, I think when getting extensions, it is so important of how it's installed and
Mm.
being educated, because I think damage can come from being uneducated and not
Mm.
learning it properly. And so we do offer education, and the method that I have designed is for all types of hair, especially
Okay.
fine hair. The method that works well with, it's diverse. So it can be used on thin hair, it can be used on normal or super thick hair. And it's designed to have little to no damage with proper aftercare.
Mm.
So we did design that method. We have a couple different methods that we use and teach salons and stylists out there. So that all is incorporated with our different collections of hair.
Okay.
So we also offer classes on how to use our different collections with our method. The method is a hidden method, so it's called no show. And basically, it's the most invisible method to use with our extensions. So
Nice.
you can't see them. They're more hidden, whether you have thin hair or you have thick hair.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice. Well, I'm looking at you. Some of our audience is listening to this audio only, but if you're listening to this or seeing this on video, like Melissa has gorgeous hair. You can't tell she
Oh,
has extensions in. So it sounds like it's working. So that's amazing.
yes, yes. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So what do you feel like the biggest lessons have been for you as you have created this business,
Mhm.
and what are you most proud of?
Um, Man, I would say one of the biggest lessons I've learned is to embrace failure as a part of the process.
Mm.
There were times when things didn't go as planned, but those moments taught me resilience and creativity. I'm most proud of building a brand that didn't go as planned, or sorry, building a brand that only helps clients feel beautiful, but also empowers other stylists and salon owners to succeed.
Nice.
Um, just seeing the impact of our training programs and our products across the country has been extremely rewarding.
Yeah,
So,
I'm sure.
yes,
And you should
yes,
be proud, right? Like that's
yes,
because your ripple effect is impacting nationally, which is huge. Very nice.
yeah.
So, what would you want to share with our audience if somebody's listening to this today and they're sitting on the fence saying, "I have an idea. I really want to start this business." What advice would you give them?
Um, I would say to follow your passion, of course, and to just jump in with full, to both feet forward and follow that no matter what bumps in the road or what outside noise you have. And I think the most important is if you're not seeing results in the beginning or right away, to keep going. If you are
Mm,
truly passionate about it and you love it, eventually consistency and discipline, I think, is so huge. And I don't know why those two stick out to me this year, but it's something that I'm really reflecting on, is
mm,
being consistent and disciplined will get you so far, and just to keep going with it and don't give up. Don't let the noise hinder you. Don't let the bumps or small bumps, big bumps, whatever they may be, take those as growth and learning lessons, and to just keep going. And I think the most important would be, don't compare yourself, is
mm.
because everyone is on their own journey, and you truly are your own unique individual, and enhance that, bring that to life, because I can promise you, whether what story you have, you're going to inspire somebody. and bring light to somebody, and you are going to have customers or whatever you end up doing. So definitely keep going, consistency and discipline.
Nice, nice. Those are great words of wisdom. And that's true with anything, right? Have that drive to keep going and being open to trying different things. If it doesn't mean just because it doesn't work today, doesn't mean it's not going to work. It just
Yeah.
means that maybe people have to catch up with you.
Yeah. Yep.
So what's next, Melissa? What's next for you? We've just entered a new year and so many possibilities. So what are you hoping for this year?
I honestly just to keep growing. This last year has been a year of where I've kind of just taken a step back and enjoyed where I was at and that time, and kind of almost pulling myself back in and organizing and developing things that were, I guess, enhancing what was working. Not getting too ahead of myself, and just every year I've been into building something new or bringing on something. So last year was just really a year of just steady growth. This year I'm ready for new opportunity and ready to take a next step forward, whether that's building that extension brand even bigger. That is definitely a passion or a goal of mine, is to just make that brand bigger, more nationally recognized, and keep the salons growing, possibly another salon. We will see, possibly,
Nice.
A different state. But I'm open to opportunity for this year.
Nice, nice, nice. I love that.
Yes.
Open to opportunities and
Yes.
possibilities like that.
Yes.
You've already put it out there now. It's out in the
Yep.
universe. Say it. You've said it. So
Yes.
be ready. Be ready when it
know.
comes.
I'm excited for this year.
Oh, that's awesome. Awesome. Well, I love that. Well, I'm so excited to have had you on the show today. This has been fantastic. And if people are curious to learn more about extensions, or if they're starting a new business and they just want to have a conversation, like where can they connect with you?
Yes. You can visit our website if you are curious about Bello Haven Hair Extensions. So that is just www.bellohavenhairextensions.com. Or you can also follow me on our Instagrams. We have at Bello Haven Hair Extensions, and we have at Bello Haven Salons if you're interested in our salons. And then my personal page is Melissa Kelly Styled.
Ooh, Melissa Kelly Styled. Okay,
Yes.
very cool. Awesome. Well, it's been fantastic having you on the show today. Thank you for sharing your beautiful passion and all this great wisdom that you've shared with our audience. We're super grateful for that. So thank you for being here.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me, and I appreciate it so much, and I hope I've gotten to inspire someone.
I know that you have.
Awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much.
My pleasure, my pleasure. And we're glad to have you. And audience, thank you. We know you have a choice as to who you listen to on podcasts. There's so many podcasts out there. We're super, super grateful to you for being listened to in 57 countries. Leave us a review. Let us know what you thought of this episode. Share it with someone. If you know somebody who's ready to start a new business and they're sitting on the fence, share this episode with them. Melissa's given some great inspiration here. So let them know that, there's trials and tribulations, but there's so much good when you just take that step and move forward. So thank you again for being here today. And if you're curious about your leadership and wondering, how do I stack up as a leader? You can visit our website at www.willempowered.com. Take our free leadership quiz. It'll give you some great insight as to how you're showing up in the world. And 2025 is a great year to really look at, how do you want to show up? How do you want to invest in yourself? If you have questions, you can direct message me, follow me on LinkedIn, Instagram, whatever channels you subscribe to. We'd be happy to have a conversation with you. So thank you, everyone. And we'll see you on the next Women in Leadership Talk podcast. Take care. Thank you for joining us for WIL Talk, sponsored by Women in Leadership Empowered. To learn more about our programs, please visit www.willempowered.com. We look forward to seeing you in our community.